Hey, welcome to the Powerful Marketing Tips podcast. Today we are trying something a little different, and in fact, I am not a real person, but AI. Nevertheless, it will be an interesting conversation as we will dive into the biggest challenges overwhelmed marketers have and what to do about it. The concepts shared in this episode are all from the marketing book, The Greatest Marketer.
That's right. And we're really focusing in on the most important part, the foundation of it all, mindset. I mean, if you're out there feeling like you're just running on a treadmill, buried under tasks, and constantly trying to prove your worth, this deep dive is for you.
Yeah, we're digging into Chapter 1, Mindset, Prepare for Growth. And the whole idea seems to be that the biggest obstacle isn't, the latest algorithm change or a tiny budget.
No, it's internal. It's this misalignment. It's a lack of clarity.
Okay, so let's unpack that. Our mission today is to really pull out the blueprint from that chapter to help shift from that feeling of confusion and burnout toward, clarity and actual efficiency. The book kicks things off with an archetype that I think almost everyone listening is going to recognize.
Oh, absolutely. Let's talk about Marge. So the book paints this picture of Marge. She's a veteran marketing and sales manager, maybe 40, 20 years in the business.
Right.
She's good at her job. She's dedicated. She works incredibly hard. But her daily reality is just feeling underappreciated, constantly having to justify her department's budget.
And just being completely burned out.
Exactly. Burned out.
So what does that actually look like? I mean, day to day.
It means she's stuck. She's in the weeds. She spends hours and hours tracking just the sheer amount of activity, the number of social posts, email opens, campaigns launched.
And then she takes those numbers into meetings.
Right. And uses them to prove her team is busy, to justify their budget, hoping that if she just shows enough effort, management will finally see the value.
It's the hamster wheel.
It's the hamster wheel. And this is that trap of busyness. It reminds me of that classic quote, often attributed to Einstein.
The definition of insanity.
He's doing the same thing over and over and over again, but expecting different results. That feeling of always being in motion, always putting out fires, it gives you a little dopamine hit, a false sense of accomplishment.
So you feel productive.
You feel productive, but that constant activity is the very thing that's stopping you from stepping back and thinking strategically about growth.
That is a brutally honest picture of so many marketing roles. And I could just hear the pushback now. Okay, but I don't have enough time or money or resources to be strategic.
Right. That's the go-to complaint. But the book flips that on its head. It actually argues that those constraints, a small budget, a packed schedule, they can be an advantage.
How so? That sounds a little optimistic.
Well, because it forces you to think. It forces you to be strategic. If you have unlimited money and time, you just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. You waste so much energy.
But when you're limited,
you're forced to make tough choices. You have to prioritize what will actually create impact, not just what will create activity. The key mindset shift here is understanding the power of saying no.
Explain that.
Well, every time you say yes to something small, like instantly answering an email just to clear your inbox, you are, by default, saying no to something bigger.
You're saying no to the deep work.
You're saying no to that deep analysis or to preparing that one crucial presentation that could actually secure your budget for the next year. It's all about trade-offs.
I thought the example in the book was perfect.
Wow.
The client who was just pumping out daily content,
yes,
emails, social posts, just to be consistent, they were so busy, but their message was completely diluted.
Exactly. So they paused. And they did the hard work of analyzing what was actually resonating with their audience. And they found that, more than half of what they were doing was just noise, dead weight.
So they did less, but it was better.
They reallocated that energy to tailored, high-performing content. And in just 2 months, they saw better results, higher engagement. They chose impact over volume.
And that leads right into the next big problem, doesn't it? If you're constantly on that hamster wheel, you lose sight of where you're even going.
Mm-hmm. There's a great Zig Ziglar quote in the chapter. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is the problem. We all have 24-hour days.
And that's especially true for marketers, I think. We're expected to be everything, right? A strategist, a writer, an SEO expert, a data analyst.
A jack of all trades. And when you're pulled in that many directions, it's so easy to just fall back on doing what you like to do or what you see everyone else doing instead of what you should be doing. You just become reactive.
The book uses a driving analogy that I really like.
The road trip.
Yeah. Marketing without a clear goal is like getting in your car and just driving. You're burning fuel, your time, your money, your team's energy, but you never actually get anywhere.
And you end up frustrated. The only way to fix it is to start with the destination. You have to work backward from success.
So define your short-term goals for the quarter and your long-term goals for the year. Is it brand awareness? Is it lead generation? Customer value? You have to decide.
You have to, and the book makes a really crucial distinction here. It says that focusing only on sales is a trap. It's short-sighted.
Why is that? Sales are what keep the lights on.
Of course. But sales are transactional. Marketing's real job is long-term. It's about building the relationship. It's creating that foundation of know, like, and trust.
So if you're just chasing the next conversion?
The book calls it a one-night stand. You get the sale, but you don't get the loyalty. You don't get the ambassador who tells everyone about you.
There's that other reference in there that marketing creates the environment where people want to listen to the sales message.
Exactly. It warms up the audience. It builds the culture around your brand so that when you do ask for the sale, people are already leaning in.
Okay, so how does someone like Marge actually do that? How does she get off the hamster wheel and start planning the road trip?
This is where the SMART framework comes in. It's a classic for a reason.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound.
Yes. It's the tool that turns a vague wish into an actual plan. And the contrast they use in the book is so clear.
Instead of that internal monologue of, ugh, I just want more clients.
Which is what we all say. It becomes something concrete, something actionable.
The example was, I will acquire 5 new clients in the healthcare sector within the next 3 months.
By improving my LinkedIn outreach strategy and attending 2 industry networking events.
See, that's completely different. It's not a wish anymore. It's a map.
It gives you direction. It lets you delegate. And after 90 days, it gives you clear metrics to see if you succeeded or not. You go from the anxiety of being overwhelmed to the focus of just executing a plan.
Now, setting the plan is one thing. Sticking to it is another. Which brings us to the next big mindset shift. The idea of hurry slowly.
I love this one. It's a principle from crisis psychology, and it is so vital for growth. We're all wired to sprint, to want results yesterday. But real growth is a journey.
The analogy they used was really powerful.
The ship? Ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets into them.
Meaning you have to control the noise, the external expectations, the internal pressure, or you'll just sink.
You'll capsize. You have to be mindful.
And that ties directly into putting your own oxygen mask on first, right? That idea from the airplane safety briefing.
It does. It feels selfish to a lot of high achievers. But if you burn yourself out trying to fix everyone else's problems, you have nothing left for the big strategic work that actually moves the business forward. Your health, your energy. That's not a luxury. It's a strategic asset.
So to give this some structure, the book introduces a framework, an adaptation of Maslow's hierarchy.
Yes, the BPS Pyramid. It stands for Basic Psychology Self-Fulfillment. And the whole point is that you can't reach the top levels of growth and strategy if your foundation is cracked.
Okay, so let's walk through that foundation. What's at the very bottom?
The base is physiological and safety needs. So, physiological, it's your body, it's your energy source. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you eating well? Are you getting healthy recreation? It sounds basic, but if you're exhausted, you can't be strategic.
And what about safety, in a professional sense?
Professional safety means stability. It means, are you getting paid on time as agreed? Do you have clear communication with your bosses so you're not always guessing where you stand? And crucially, are you investing in your own professional development?
Wait, why is professional development a safety issue?
Because in marketing, if you're not updating your skills every 6 to 12 months, you risk becoming obsolete. And that risk creates fear. Fear creates paralysis, and that keeps you stuck in Marge's cycle, just clinging to what you know instead of leading with new ideas.
Okay, so once that foundation of physical health and professional safety is solid, what's the next level up?
The next level is psychological. This is about belonging and, really critically, self-esteem. The book makes a great point that your self-esteem is never neutral. It's always either going up or going down based on how you face your day.
And that's where confidence comes from.
Exactly. Confidence isn't about avoiding hard things. It's about changing your inner voice. Instead of defaulting to, I can't do this, you build it by asking, okay, how can I do this? What do I need to figure this out? The whole pyramid shows that real impact starts from the inside out.
Which brings us right back around to Marge's problem, that addiction to being busy.
Yes, we know it gives us that dopamine hit, but it's more than that. We are fundamentally wired for comfort.
And checking off a to-do list is comfortable.
It's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Answering a quick email, clearing your notifications, it's easy. It gives you that little reward, that feeling of productivity, but it keeps you from doing the hard, uncomfortable work where real growth actually happens.
The strategic thinking.
The big, difficult tasks. You have to realize that you are not a firefighter, and you have to train others that not everything is an emergency. The building will not burn down if you close your laptop for an hour to think.
To help with that, the book offers a blueprint for balance, the 8-8-8 principle.
Right. 8 hours for work, 8 hours for sleep, and 8 hours for recreation and personal time.
Now, I can hear a lot of listeners laughing at that, especially if they're in a startup or have young kids. Is that actually realistic?
Well, it's presented as the ideal, the target you should be aiming for to have a sustainable, high-performance career. The book is realistic about it. It says that, especially between the ages of 24 and 42, you might have to take a temporary loan from your sleep or your personal time.
A loan. I like that phrasing.
But the key word is temporary. You have to see it as a debt that needs to be paid back quickly. If that imbalance becomes your new normal, burnout is it's inevitable.
And that leads to anxiety.
Yeah.
The book lists 4 sources: that unbalanced lifestyle, constant distractions, information overload, and addictive patterns.
Yeah, like endless scrolling. And to break that cycle of distraction, you have to set boundaries. If you answer every email in 2 minutes, you are teaching people to interrupt you constantly.
So what's the practical solution? How do you get control back?
The single most important tool they recommend is to protect your MIP time.
MIP.
Most important person time. And that most important person is you. This is the non-negotiable block in your calendar that you dedicate to deep focus, is strategic thinking, to analysis. It's the important but not urgent work that Marge never gets to.
You have to schedule it, like a meeting.
Exactly. Treat it like a meeting with your most important client, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
And you need it more than ever. I mean, think about the information overload. One stat they cited was that we're exposed to something like 105,000 words a day.
Wow.
That's just the fire hose of information.
Yeah.
Without actively protecting time to think, you're not managing information, you're just drowning in it.
So at the end of the day, this whole first chapter, this deep dive into mindset, it all comes down to a choice.
It does.
It's choosing clarity and focus over the comfortable feeling of being busy. It's realizing that sustainable success starts with taking ownership of your own foundation. That self-care isn't selfish, it's actually the strategy that makes everything else possible.
And that's it for today's episode. We'll continue this discussion in future episodes, as Chapter 2 of The Greatest Marketer is all about strategy, and this is the next logical step after mastering your mindset. Until then, go check out the book at thegreatestmarketer.com with free resources that accompany the book.